put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in the imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, fuck the opposition, ain't all that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show, this so perennial. Do this for my millennials, I be murdering any flow.
All right, Coach, coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports brings us to Southern California and Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and our home team. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Down. 60 outlaw. Here we go.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Pull it high.
2nd and 9 now. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Defense, keep it up, guys. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Running on first down, Eckler. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got? Go.
They'll run it here. This is James White pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ready? 10-2 stop. I'm coming. Pilot, 64, weak.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. Herbert. And he will find his man on the outside. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Protein spill.
They'll run here with Eckler. And an alley to run. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
When you enter the game as the AFC Player of the Week award winner, you expect runs like that and then some.
It was fun to watch him in the opener last week in Week 1. He was spectacular and hoping for more here in Week 2. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spend too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
8, read. Watch the flag, watch the flag, watch the flag. Watch the flag.
On 2nd down, Eckler. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
From the gun on 3rd down, Herbert. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll run as Hilliard. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
65.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth, now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Ready? 95-56, 95-56.
Now they'll throw with Breeze. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 28.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Ready?
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Ball Joseph on the tackle. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 25-yard line.
Ready? Yellow lady.
6-0 our score after 1.
Saints nothing.
Ready? Yellow lady, yellow lady. 11.
From the 25 on 2nd down. Breeze out of the backfield. That's complete to Kamara. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Let's go now. 50, plant.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Breeze. And that is incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the field goal that cuts the lead in half as they, too, are able to get some points on their initial drive of the game.
Yeah, all in all, a pretty positive response, right, to the points that were scored against them. And they got a little help from their opponent anyway. Missed the conversion, so now they're just 3 back.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
General West. He's checking.
They started on the ground with Eckler, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
A give, Eckler running to the right. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Here we go. 50-60 outlaw. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. Get it.
Off play action. Herbert. Caught by Allen. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Sometimes those punt returns can yield some unnecessary roughness penalty.
Now, I know a lot of guys, when they run a long way to execute a block or make a hit, they're going to launch it no matter what, and it can often cost them.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll throw out wide, complete to Sanders. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Out of bounds at the 42-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Ready. 5-9.
On second down, Hilliard, and the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. The Chargers trot out their dime package, expecting a throw on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Breeze. Open man is Michael Thomas. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The end result, 21 yards.
First down.
Set up, 18, Gator. 55, watch the curl, watch the curl. 5.
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Ready, 5-8, 5-8. Check, 55.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. Fighting through. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's Hilliard. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And it's caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll run it with Kamara. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, 2nd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. On 3rd down, Hilliard, and he'll get nothing out of that one. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will knot things up here late in the first half. Now, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
On the ready.
The Charger drive about to get going. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
15 yards on the play. That's another Chargers first down. 1st and 10 at the 46.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. So we have reached halftime here with not much scoring between these two teams. 6-6 our score. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All even through one half of football as we get back underway in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
And this This has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Now Breeze on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emerson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. White now to return. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when
a 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Throwing now is Breeze. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 there, and a New Orleans 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ready. Yellow waiting. Yellow waiting.
They'll run on 1st down. Hilliard. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses have a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game.
Ready to break. Up against the mic. Get that quarterback, G-Line. Get that quarterback, G-Line.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he'll be close to a 1st down at the Chargers' 35.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Ready? Yellow waiting. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Ready, back.
On 3rd down, Hilliard. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. All 9 points for him coming via the field goal, and this last one puts him out in front.
All the field goals are great, but you know I'm going to get pessimistic here, right? Because you've got to score touchdowns to win games in the NFL. I just wonder if all these field goals, great now, or if they'll come back and haunt them later on.
The Charger drive about to get going. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll try the right side with Eckler. He's got a first down past the 30. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. First down, here's White. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Got it. Let's go now. 30 base. 56. Get in the white room.
To throw on second down. Herbert. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this one complete to Reed. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 32 on the play.
That's a real nice job right there. Working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there.
Hey, team 6. Team 6. Nice, sweetheart. Get it.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the first down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
At the Saints' 8-yard line.
So it'll be 2nd and goal when we return. We've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Check curls, check curls, check curls. Ready?
Here is Eckler. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers are going to retake the lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make ssure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Breeze now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he fires one that's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, L.A. Badgley on for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And fresh off the pick 6. They've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Breeze. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Jameis to throw it. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Breeze. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Joey Bosa. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
15-1.
Going on the ground with Eckler. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Draw play, it's Eckler. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Badgley's kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Get ready. Get ready. Alert 3. Alert 3. Alert 3. Slip.
On the ground, it's Eckler. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Rush in. Big ass. Get it.
Once more, here's Eckler. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Ready?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Bree's going to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Breeze. He'll have a first down past the 40. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Back to throw. Knight. And he's going to keep it here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Ready? 5-9, 36, 36.
It's our time. It's our time.
On first down, Breeze. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. But it's going to be 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Desmond King picks it. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. The Charger drive about to get going. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Ready, set.
57.
Coming. Shoot.
And they will take a knee here.
Herbert on the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13.
So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.